So one thing as a course creator, because we're doing everything ourselves, sometimes it can feel a bit overwhelming for you because there's so many different things to do. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if we could just clone ourselves like this? So cool. That way we would get more stuff done. Unfortunately, we can't. So we have to manage on our own. So this episode of Zen Pop-Up is all about speeding up the time it takes you to create your courses and your course content. So let's get on with it. Jump into the Zen Pop-Up for this episode and look at time-saving techniques you can use for Zenler. So welcome guys. So time-saving techniques for you. So what we're going to look at today is how you can speed up your workflow. So this is really good for you guys that just have so much on and you want to find a way of speeding everything up and just making things more efficient for yourself, especially inside the Zenler platform. So we're going to look at that in a second. I'm just going to turn some more lights on because it's a bit less. It's not very bright in here, so that's a bit better. Okay, so I'm going to jump into a screen share. We're going to look at a site and we're going to look at how we can set templates up and things to help us speed our workflow up. So let me just pop that over here and go to my screen share. Okay, so we have this site here and this is our zenpopup.newzenler.com. So in a previous pop-up we created a landing page that we could use to actually capture leads before we've created our site. So that's what I'm going to use for this. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about Canva and how we can set templates up. So this is tip number one: set up templates in Canva or in an editing program that you use. So inside Canva, what I tend to do is I start with a design. So I'll start with a pre-formatted design, presentation size 1920 by 1080. I tend to set up a custom size in here and then I put 1920 by 1080, and that for me works really well inside Zenler. So if I create the design, funny enough, this dimension 1920 by 1080 is the exact size of course cards. It's the exact size of HD video, whether it's standard HD or high HD or 2K, 4K, whatever. It's that dimension, so it can be used for multiple purposes. What does that do? That saves time. So by saving time by creating one set of assets, it means it's a lot easier for us to work. So I'm just going to put myself down there so I'm not in the way too much, and we're just going to create a little bit of media. Now I'm not going to spend a lot of time creating this media. I'm just going to set this up so you can get the idea. So if I go into marketing inside this is a free account, I think. I can go in and have a look at some marketing images, so I can use that. That's actually the same one as our slide here, so because it's pulled from Pixabay, so we're going to be using that one, I think. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to drag that into there. Notice that if I drag it into the corner, it becomes the background, like bang, into the background. The other way you can do it is you can drop it in there, you can right hand click and you can go set as image background, bang. So now that is the background image for that. So I could put some elements over the top. If I go and choose something like a square like this, I can set this to black to give it a tint. So let's go in and give this a tint, and I can come up to here, transparency, and I can set this so it's a transparent color. I can drag it right to the edge and I can create this effect going over the top. Again, like our site. Yeah, so our site is a little bit darker, so I'm going to come in and make this a little bit darker in here. Okay, so I've created that background image. Now I could export this image out and use it as my background image, so I wouldn't have to, unlike our actual site where I've put an overlay over the top of it, I don't actually have to do it. I could just export it out like this and use it like this. So that's an image that I've created there. So let's just create a little bit of text to go over the top. Let's call this Learn Marketing Funnels. Okay, so I'm going to select my text. In this case, I use Poppins, so I'm going to choose a Poppins text inside there, and I'll make it bold. let's go for an extra bold. Okay, and bring it to the edge. Bring it down a bit in there, and let's go and move this more in the middle. And then I'm going to actually I'm dragging this, I'm holding the Shift and Alt key. It's going to make a duplicate of it. So now I can select a standard poppings. Let's choose that. We can go in depth. I think I want to. Okay, so let's take all this and reduce it down in size. So I'm going to go and reduce it down to about 24, maybe a bit bigger. And I'm just trying to get it so it's roughly about the same size as the heading above it. I'm going to change the color of this slightly as well. I'm just going to make it a kind of gray. That's good. So there, what I've done there is I've created a course card. So just like that, I've created a course card. And I can put that in there and I can export that out as an image. So this can be really handy because I have now set my font type and my size in here. I've got the background image. So if I want to produce more of these, if I want to produce another course and it has a similar style, I can actually duplicate this out and I can change it. So let's just do that now. I'm going to duplicate this out and we're going to call this something else. So learn how to run lives. Okay. In-depth training on how to run live workshops in Zenler. And I can take that size, I can make it a bit bigger in here. Okay, I can take this background image. I'm going to drag it down for a second. I'm going to detach the image. So I'm going to right hand click, detach the image. And now I'm going to delete that image out. I'm going to go over to my uploads area. I'm going to search for photos and I'm going to try and put in here live and see what comes up. So I've got these lovely images. Let's use that one. It's quite dark. I'm going to put it in the corner and you see it'll jump up. And now I'm going to put that back over the top. And now instantly I have created another course card like that. I might want to change the color of that and make that red. Actually, do you know what? Maybe blue's better. So there you go. I've got two course cards, two lovely looking course cards straight away. So now I can output these and I can use them in a course. So if I go to share and I go down to download, I can select the file type for these flat type images. I would be using JPEG. I will set a quality level of about 69, well about 70, just because what happens is you bring it right down here, it's going to be a low quality image. It'll be very pixelated. I don't want to go very high. I want to go sort of just here. So it's kind of medium to high quality, because that way the file size is going to be smaller. So your site will load quicker. So now we selected that, you might want to just select one of them to output. So you've got the option of clicking here and just downloading one, or you can select them all. I'm going to select them all. You'll also notice called page 1, page 2. So if you want to, you can change. You can actually add a title in here. So if I went and add a title, I'll go learn lives course card. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to come up the top here. And I'm going to go learn funnels course card. All right, so I've put that in there and we've got that. So now when I do my download, again, go to here, set this on about 70. I'm going to download both images and see what they're called there. I click to select them all, JPEG, I'm going to click done. And now it's going to download these images. So I click download and you're going to see it do this stuff downloading, and it will put these in my download folder, which I'll show you in 2 seconds once it's downloaded. Great, I'm just going to actually put them in a zip folder. So I'm going to show that in folder, and I've got a few things going on in here, but There it is there. So you can see that zip folder. So what I want to do now is I want to just right hand click and I want to just extract it all to the same location. It's appearing there. I'm going to click extract, and now you're going to see it's got me a folder and I've got both of my course cards in there. So I'm going to whiz these over to my desktop, just drop them on my desktop for now. I'm going to jump into the site, so I'm just going to log into the site now. And there we go. So it's logged me in automatically. And now I'm going to just set a quick course up just to show you how you can use this. So if I've got a course card, I'm going to create a quick course. You're going to see in here, let's call this Learn Funnel Marketing, something like that. You can put a subtitle, a course summary. I'm going to create a quick course. But what is great now is when I come to this page here and I go to course details, I can now upload that image. So if I change this image over and I go and find that, which is on my desktop, there's the funnels one. I click open. You're going to see you have this box, but if I put it right in the corner and I drag it right to the edge, it's exactly the right size. So if I click crop and save, there it is there. So I've got that in there at that exact size. Now, if I also uploaded a video, I could use the thumbnail for this as well. So I can put it in there. So I'm utilizing the use of this. So the same goes for if I decide to change this course and I make a clone of that course. This course isn't finished yet, but I just want to show you. If I make a clone, this is another tip number 2. So templates is the first tip because you can reuse 1920 by 1080. The other tip, we're going to clone the course. Cloning the course, if you've done all that work and set it up, you can clone it and it keeps all of the page designs you set up, so you can swap this stuff out really easily. So for this one, I'm going to call the URL live. I'm going to go in here and we're going to call learn how to run a live. And now I can just swap this image over. So I can go to change. I can go and find the lives image, click this, put it in the corner, drag it here, click crop and save. Update it in here, and now I've got another course. So I've got 2 courses that I can create really quickly using that. See how quick I did that? So if you've done the whole course and you filled it all out, consider cloning it, then going into the pages, changing the text and the background images using the template graphics, and you can create this stuff really quickly. So I'm now going to go into a page and we're still going to use these Canva templates, but I'm actually going to export the background out. So I'm going to be using elements of this and putting them into a page. So this again is another quick time-saving technique. So we've only got to do it once. What I like to do is I like to set it up on a page. So if I go to site and then I go to pages, I always like to set myself up with what I call a template page. So if I go into add page, I'm going to call this template. I don't publish this page. I'm just using it to design and play around, so nobody sees anything that's going on. Again, you're not messing around. If it's a live membership or a live course, you're not messing around with the pages and things are changing. People don't know what's going on. You're just not publishing the page, so it's not visible. So let's take that, put that into the URL and click add. So this page is not visible. So I'll open up now in the page editor, and I'm going to be using that background image that we've got for the live, and I'm going to be creating a block of that using those graphics. Again, saving me a ton of time. Now also remember that when we're creating any of these, we're using the same colors that we've got for our branding and things like that. So we're using the same typefaces, all these things are the same. So if you've got a color palette for your brand, say red, blue and green or something, you could then pick those particular colors in here to make sure it's all following the same brand. But the main thing is that you have this as a template. So in the page now, I've got this page set up here, this blank page. I'm going to now put a background image here, and I'm going to take the background image of this. So what I'm going to do to export this image without this text on top is I'm going to duplicate the page, and I'm going to click in there and I'm going to delete these out. So it just gives me this, which is exactly what I want. So I want to download that image now. So I'm going to go to download. I'm going to go to JPEG type. I'm going to put that in. It's a big image, so I'm going to leave it on 80. And down here, I'm going to just choose the last page, which is 3. And I'm going to click done. Now, because it's one image, it won't zip them up. It only zips them up if you're downloading multiple images. So I'm going to click download, and you're going to see it will appear down here in a second once it's downloaded. There it is. And you can see it's called marketing. So if we look at that in the folder, you can see there it is, just the background image. Now I can jump into my page design, go to the settings for in the blue block there. I can go to background image and I can upload an image. Let's go and find it. It's in my downloads folder. There it is. There it is there. I'm going to click open. I'm not going to crop it. So I'm going to upload without crop. And bang, it's in there. So now I can make this a bit bigger, change the location of things if I wanted to. So the background image, I'd probably make this center like that. I've got live in there. Now I can add my text. So I can come in, I can add a single row. I can even come into here and grab this text. So I'm going to copy this text. This in Poppins extra bold. I'm going to drop an H1 tag in here. Go to H1. Let's select the text. Okay. We're going to jump into the settings for that H1. I'm going to make that text white. And we're going to make the size a bit bigger. I'm going to come up to about 45. And we're going to make sure that it's in Poppins. So I'm going to type in pop in there. Poppins. And the style that we've got set here, I think, is extra bold. There we go. I'm then going to put another one in for the text that's underneath it. So I'm going to choose an H2 heading. Jump back into Canva. So I'm utilizing Canva to copy stuff that I've already done. Again, saving you time. So once I put that in there and I click inside here, then I can select that block. I can even grab that same color. So if I've got that color in there, I can click in here and it's going to give me that color. If I click on that, it's going to give me the color in there. So to get that color, like if I select that one and I clicked here, it would give me that color there as a hexadecimal number. So I've got it as this color. So I'm going to click in there. I copy this number, jump in here, and instead of selecting a color in here, I just paste that color in there. And now I know I've got exactly the same color. I'm going to put that down to medium. I'm going to push this up a little bit here. And I'm going to push this down a little bit so it's a bit closer. The bottom. In fact, I can even put a negative value in here to get it even closer. And I'm going to make this a bit bigger. I'm actually going to make this 55. I'm going to bring this down. And probably bring it down to about 25, 27, 26. Pretty much perfect. Click save. And now I've got a block. Now I'm going to really quickly do the next block. So I've got these. Remember, if you're using Pro and Premium, you have the option here to save this block out. So you could reuse this block in different places. You've also got the ability to clone the block. So I'm going to clone the block. It's going to create a new one here. And we're going to be so much quicker now because we've cloned the block. So I can go to this top one. I can clone it out. I can grab this, delete this out for the background image. This is page 2. So I'm going to go share, download. We're going to choose the JPEG here. And I've got it on 80 already. I'm just going to choose page 2, which is that one. And I'm going to click done and download. That will download that into my downloads folder. Okay, and already even before I've uploaded it, I'm going to copy that text so I can move on to this really quickly. So now I'm going to come into here. I'm going to paste that text in there. I'm going to jump back in here. We can paste this second lot of text. Copy. Go back in here. Paste that in there. It's not the right color. So again, I'm going to open this up. Click in here. Copy this. Copy. Go back into here. Open up the color. Put that correct color in there. And now change this background over for the background that I just downloaded. So I'm going to jump in there. You're going to see we've got it inside here. There it is. I'm going to click open, upload without crop, and bang, I've got the second one in there. So really quick, and of course you can change the size of this if you wanted to, just to get it to match exactly with that, which is about 25. And Let's try 24.5. Perfect. Click save. And now I've got another block that I could save and reuse in my page. So reusing content or having a template page makes it really quick to take this. So if I save this out, let me just save this block. Let's call it run lives block. Okay, click save. And let's call this marketing. And click save. All right, so now we've done that, I could jump into, say, my home page, my welcome page, or let's actually go down to our home page, which we haven't touched yet. I'm going to click edit in here. So I've kind of finished with these pages. So I'm just going to close them. So I'm just opening up the home page now, and those blocks that we just downloaded, I can just pop them straight into the page, saving myself a lot of time. So if you set up lots of these blocks on the template page, even forms and things, you can go in, you could save those blocks out, or you can go and add to those blocks, save them and reuse them. So if I want to use that CTA for, say, the live block, I can come down to my custom blocks because I saved it out and I've got them in here. So I can just drag that straight across and bang, it's straight in there, and I've created this new start of my home page. So there we go, and I can click save to that, and now I've got that like that. So another thing I want to talk to you about now is saving time with editing pages. When you're working on a lot of pages, so generally when you're first creating your site, you're probably going to have all your text already. You probably have written the text for your home page, your About Us page, any other pages that you decide to put in there, and you'll have it all prepared. So you'll want to whip through the pages really quickly to do it. Now you're going to notice with this particular page builder, we are bringing out a brand new version of the page builder. It'll be a lot quicker, but you're still going to notice that if you go in and you go to a different page, maybe to change it, that you go to that page and you have to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 before it loads. So about 16 seconds, 15 seconds before this page loads. And if I go back and I'm like, I want to go back and just reset up my home page, and you click there and you have to wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you know, it's a time consuming thing. Every 15 seconds of time you're losing out. So this is my tip number 2 to you. I'm just going to close this down. In the pages, if you're going to do multiple changes to multiple pages inside your site, and this goes for if you're doing courses as well, what I suggest you do is go into those pages, click the edit button, let that open, come through to the next page, click the edit button. Don't do more than 4 at a time. Privacy page, terms page. Now I've opened those up. These are all loading. Okay, they're all loading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and this page has loaded. So it's now loaded. So I am now, these are still loading. Notice they're still loading. I am now working on this page, working, okay, and finished, and save the page off, close it. Now I can jump to the next page, all course page. I can make changes here. I can go to the privacy page. I can make changes here. I can go to the terms page. I don't have to keep waiting 15 seconds between all of these changes to update pages. Exactly the same thing happens with courses as well. Let me just close all these pages down and let me show you exactly the same thing with courses. So I've set these quick courses up, still got to do all the work. So if I go to the pages inside here, I still want to do the same thing. So once again, I'm going to click the edit and I can ripple through these pages. I just jump back to this page and I just open all of the pages of my courses. So these are all the 4 pages that are in the course. It's sales page, checkout page, thank you page, course access page, and they're all loading at the same time. So when the first page loads, which will probably be the first one that you opened up, the sales page, you can sit here, wait for it to load, which will probably take 15-20 seconds, and then you can start working. So here we go, we're on it. So this is start working on the sales page. So my sales page, I can start working on this, and by the time I've actually finished, all the other pages will have loaded. So I can go down here and use this. This is how to run live. So I can go in there, drop my block in there to how to run a live for that course, delete that block out, click delete, save that off, and then I might be finished with this page, and then I jump into the checkout page. I can jump into the thank you page, and finally the course access page. So this is a massive time saver. If you guys are working with this stuff, this can save you a lot of time doing that. So just a few speed saving techniques there. One is definitely use Canva and set up some templates. You can jump back into Canva and you can really quickly start to create your templates. So if I've got my template, wherever it is, there it is. So if I go into this, you know, I can create a template from this really easily. Again, I can modify it, it's consistent. If I finished with this, I've exported the background there, so I'd probably delete this back out because I don't need that anymore. And I can create that. And the main thing is it's consistent throughout the site. So if you're using the template, creating a new page called a template page that's unpublished, you can go there, you can create multiple things, including forms. You can even check they work. You're going to publish them for a few minutes, check them in incognito, check it's working, unpublish it again, and then you can copy that block and use that in multiple places within your site, again saving you massive amount of time. Now, not only when I looked at Canva and we said about exporting this out at 1920 by 1080, but if you're producing your videos as well, it means that you can use that as a course card. So when you produce your video, you can actually just put this in as the front card and then do a quick fade, and then you can go into the video. So you're reusing content. So what am I trying to get at here? What I'm trying to get at is all of the ways that you can speed yourself out and how you can also reuse content, because I could also take this, I could add a little bit more information. I could even drop a link in here to the course, wherever it may be. Let's just say zenpopup.com and go in here like that. And now I can export this out and I could post this to social media. So I could put this on my Facebook page, and then I could link to zenpopup.newzenler.com, and I've got another piece of material that I've reused. So if you can reuse material, if you can open up multiple pages at the same time, and then maybe go off, have a cup of coffee, come back, all your pages are open, you're ready to start work straight away. You know, it's like the editor. I can jump through all these pages and I'm not waiting. So when people post, and this happens a lot on the Facebook group, isn't Zenler slow today? You know, maybe try these methods, open the pages up, multiple pages, and try not to do it more than 4 tabs. Okay, work on 4 pages, close them, open another lot of 4, and then work on it that way. But it can speed your time and your life. You know, it can save you a lot of energy and stop you recreating things. You know, if you can do it all from templates and you've got it all done, then it's going to save you a ton of time. So hopefully, guys, that has been of use to you. Got some viewers in today to watch the video, so hopefully that has will speed your course production up. We're all about trying to optimize your time, how to be, you know, the other benefit of what we're trying to do here is it means that stuff is consistent. If you were to open a brand new Canva design and you were to start doing it, oh, it looks kind of like what I've done before, then you can't be sure, unless you know exactly what font you've used, what font size, which colors you've used, that it's going to be consistent. And if you look at people's sites, and this happens a lot, have a look at people's sites and have a look at their course cards. You might notice that all of them are quite a lot different. Some of them are using time, some of them are big, some of them are small, some of them use this color. It's not consistent running through. If you look at the big brands like Pepsi Cola, or you know, I want to say Johnny Walker. So you look at any of the big brands like Carlsberg or whatever, or IKEA, you'll see that everything follows the same thing. It's all very consistent. They're very conscious about their brand. They're very conscious about the fonts that they're using, the colors they're using. So you'll see that on professional course creators that have been doing this stuff for years, they will be making sure their stuff is consistent. Look at some of the course creators we've got on the platform, and you can see straight away at kind of what level they're coming in at. Just by looking at their web page, you can assess how long they've been doing this stuff for. Honestly, it makes that much difference. So if you can consistently work using a template that you've already created and just adjusting it, you know that you're maintaining consistency throughout your brand. You're not only doing that, you're speeding your workflow up as well, and you're taking a little bit of the headache out of yourself, you know, to do this stuff. This opening tabs up can work for any of the pages, including the live pages as well that you've got, and including things like marketing funnels. So you can use these same techniques, you reuse them throughout the whole of the Zenler system. So that's my Zen pop-up. That's the time-saving techniques for you, and over and out. I'll be doing another Zen pop-up very soon.